do the one after the break. So hi, I'm Nick. I work for a company called 90 Seconds. I'm part owner of that. We create web videos for companies, right from startups right through to Fortune 500. And just like to say thanks to the guys for inviting me along today. So just want to talk to you a little bit about the benefits of online video, some of the aspects that we find as a company that produces them, and obviously more specifically the highlights for SME businesses and breaking down some of the barriers that you might have in your head in relation to web video. So it'd be rude for me not to start with our video, just to highlight a little bit about us, more to the point. So obviously give this for a minute.
People watch videos online and their actions are directly influenced by their experiences.
82% of people that see a play button online will click to watch it.
People love video, and Google ranks it highly.
So you can be the video that they watch.
People have many emotions, values, and beliefs that drive their decisions. Decisions to buy from you, work with you, and tell people about you.
The video reaches them on all levels.
We produce high-quality, hot videos that people love, scripted by storytelling directors, filmed in high definition, professionally and creatively edited, and reviewed by experts. We make videos that help anyone understand exactly what you want them to know, how you want them to feel about your business, your product, your customers, your story.
Our videos are produced at a fraction of the cost of normal production companies.
We produce almost 2,000 videos with a focus on efficiency, harnessing technology, and innovating the production process. This streamlines the production of your video to save us time and money. We pass these savings on to you.
We do all sorts of things to make video affordable. When you make more than one video with us, it costs you even less.
We're so confident that our videos will work for your business. Every day when you coming back for more.
90.
90.
It's fast, it's easy,
All managed online.
Let's go down into saying things, you know all about it. So as you can probably see from the accents in there, we were founded in New Zealand 3 years ago. A couple of mates of mine started it, so we found there was a big gap in the market between big production houses and affordable web video. We noticed there was a gap in the equipment coming down and the talent available in terms of freelancers, so we really jumped on that. We had another business which was a joint venture with a bank in New Zealand, and we were looking around for video options in terms of tutorials and that side of things, and there really wasn't an option anything less than 10, 20,000 out there. So we thought, hang on, there's an opportunity here for a business. From then obviously we've done more than actually 3,000 videos now, which is nice. Moved to Australia and then the last 12 months over here. So really getting to know the UK market and obviously more importantly the SME and tech markets over here, try and get involved in that side of things. So there's obviously a little sheep joke that I normally get at from there. So this is a key aspect from where we started. We know that we went out there and had a look at research. What were people saying about video? Obviously YouTube has come to the fore. People are clicking on YouTube daily, hourly, every minute occasionally. And we found that a piece of research came out in America, 82% of people will click on that play button if they see it on your homepage. So it's a very powerful, powerful stat. Harking back to what Ben was saying in terms of your story and influencing people, I mean it's a huge aspect to our business. When I'm going out there talking to customers and SMEs and tech companies saying, if you create good content, then it is going to work. The main thing about online videos, it needs to be believable and you need to be able to share a story. So first and foremost, you've got to know your story, you've got to know where you come from, where you want to go and where you're taking your business, product, service, this, that or the other. So I mean, you really have to know yourself. Before you start looking at creating content, don't create content for content's sake. It's got to be valuable and add value to your website or however you're going to distribute it. Web videos do influence decisions. I mean, for example, if you put a business profile video on your homepage, whether you want it to be business-centric, so introducing yourselves, your experience and why you've started the business, whether you want to highlight a specific product and keep your personalities out of it, whether you want to add it as a pitch video or whatever, it's trying to influence people's decisions when they're coming to your site and obviously getting them to relate to you, your brand and your products. with technology now, we all use the internet. I mean, it's the way things are going. I said you're breaking down barriers. I mean, we've got PR in the journalism side of things online, and we find it's obviously fast and effective to get out there to the mass market. It's disruptive. I mean, in our business, for example, we send out video links. We can actually track whether people open those or not, so it's quite disruptive in that sense. It really gets in people's spaces, and like I say, harking back to the 82%, which I'll touch on a lot throughout this presentation. People do watch video content these days. In terms of tech startup business, I mean, the ROI is a massive aspect. You can't be spending, I know when we started, we didn't have massive budgets to go out and do videos and promote ourselves. So I mean, it's got to really hit the mark, and you've got to really hit the ROI of why you're doing it and how you're going to be able to measure that. I mean, with YouTube now, you can obviously measure the hits you get. When people hit your website, you can tell if they've clicked your video and how they've navigated around your site, which is great to be able to track it. So it is cost effective. I mean, as I touched on, the equipment and the way people, companies such as ours do it, I mean, the costs come down. For as little as, say, $500, you can get a professionally made video on your site there. Just a couple of stats. We'll hear different stats about hours of uploads and different video types, but I mean, it's massive numbers. People are using YouTube. The main thing is people are used to watching video now. Gone are the days where people would be a little bit scared to push the play button. Potentially could have been me. Yeah, so YouTube, people are used to. They're not scared about it, so they're going to take it. And I know one stat that I was reading the other day was, actually I've got it written down so I don't mess it up, so I don't get asked a question about it. Having video on your website is 6 times more likely to convert a browser to a paying customer. So that's an interesting piece of information tied in with another one, which is 20% of your website visitors will read the entire text on your website, but 80% will watch the same content if it's put into a concise video. So I mean, that's pretty powerful in terms of getting a message across and influencing their decisions. We all know Apple. Apple did it really well in terms of getting people using their products. They did a lot of tutorial videos. So once people had bought the devices, they put out a lot of videos. They really got people understanding how to use their devices and training them how to use it much more effectively. Because there's nothing more frustrating than getting a new piece of technology and not being able to use it to its full potential. So Apple did that really well. Interesting one. I mean, have you guys seen the Old Spice Man? In terms of campaigns, I mean, this was one of the most successful campaigns. So it was TV in conjunction with YouTube. They got huge amounts, millions of hits on the Old Spice guy, because they were just taking it away. I mean, Old Spice, for me, when I was growing up, my dad had Old Spice aftershave. And what they said was, look, we want to really reinvigorate our brand, get into a new market, and now they're either the top or the second shower gels for males. Completely separate market, but they went out there and they created all these sort of funky new age YouTube videos. That people really resonated with people, and they actioned it, which is good. Online marketing, it's an interesting one. I mean, for me, I specifically sell web videos to customers. So, I mean, the way I market is I send out videos about videos, which is an interesting one. But I mean, as I said before, it's really easy to get your word out there with video. All you're sending out is a link in an email, or as I say, on your website with a call to action at the end. So I mean, it's not tricky. You're not. You can use emails. You can use different blogs. X, Y, Z. We'll touch on a story later on about a blog where they picked up a video. We partner with SEO companies, so we're not the experts at SEO. I mean, but one thing that we do know is video does increase your SEO. There's another stat to my stat pad. A company is 50 times more likely to appear on the front page of Google if they have a video, which is, I mean, it's great for me because I'm standing up here, but obviously it does help Google. The more video content you have on your site, in conjunction with obviously the other algorithm aspects, does help. Analytics are key. I think this is where, again, back to the ROI and how you track the relevance of your video and how people are taking it and running with it. I mean, what we do is when I send out an introduction email or a follow-up email with links, we've got tracking links, so I know exactly when they click on it. We have guys in New Zealand whose jobs they are to track when those links are clicked on, and then 10 minutes later they're calling that person while it's fresh in their mind. So it's a different aspect of ways of marketing to people and really hitting them at a poignant time. Because I mean, it is hard to sell products and services nowadays. People are a little bit more hesitant. There's a lot more layers of sign-off that probably need to go through than in the past. So I mean, it's just thinking of ways to be able to track that. But also another key aspect is time on site. So if you've got a video on there, people will spend more time on your site. It's just a pure fact. And as I said before, if you can squeeze the written material into a small video, then hey, you've got the whole message on there. Okay, there's a couple of pitfalls. I mean, as a production company, we fix a lot of amateur content. So people will come to us and say, look, we've made this video, we just want you to come in at the edit stage and make it look $1 million. And we get it and we look at it and the camera's all shaky and the lighting's not right and the sound's rubbish. And we say, well, at the end of the day, we're good, but we're not that good. I mean, we're not going to turn this around. So, I mean, I would really, as a startup especially, I know money's tight, and that's really the big aspect of doing it yourself or knowing people who have the right equipment, but just be careful is what I'm saying. It's a matter of, we all know people with a 570 camera, which do the proper quality videos, but just make sure it's on brand and on message, because at the end of the day, if you put a video up on your site and it is rubbish, that's the first reflection of your brand when people hit your website. So just make sure of that. That's my CEO, so we always get a bit of a laugh when he's not in the room, we're laughing at him. So yeah, it's a typical, people buy off people they like and who they trust, and therefore they then trust your product, brand or service in conjunction with that. I mean, we always tend, especially with startups, you've all got good stories, you've all started businesses or created a product for a specific reason, so there's no reason why you get old Larry here fronting your video and trying to sell something for $99.99 or get your money back after a month or whatever. So I always recommend, especially to startups and tech companies, to front your own videos, be confident in what you do, because it really does add value. I mean, probably 2% of our videos that we've created, over 3,000, have been fronted by talent, and those have been for really corporate customers where they're quite sterile in what the outcomes they're looking for. So also just watch out for a few hidden costs. I mean, production companies are known for writing the script for you, coming and shooting. 3 weeks later you're wonder where my video is, wonder how it's going, shoots can take longer, different people are involved. So I have been talking to a few people who have been stung by this. Get the invoice and say, shoot went over by 3 hours, therefore there's X amount added. Edit time's taken longer than possible. So always get the upfront cost of the video, get it laid out, what that involves, and make sure they commit to making that happen on the shoot. Because there's a lot of time where the production companies will say, that's cool, we're going to do 5 hours shooting, you can be on site, and therefore you're responsible for not making sure it's all shot in the 5 hours or whatever. But just make sure that you're in control and you're making sure that they're hitting their targets, and what's agreed up front is delivered on. Okay, so this is a little case study that I've got a video for also. This is a company called New Design. They're a Bristol tech company. Believe it or not, it's not a Doctor Who, some sort of alien. It's actually a musical instrument they've created. These guys have used video really well. I mean, they created 3 or 4 themselves during the development of this product, so they've got people's attention right from the start. People are intrigued, they look at it and go, what the hell's this thing? And what does it do? So they got picked up by TechCrunch and a couple other blogs, and they got over 150,000 views over 2 days with the video before the one we've made. And then they got to a stage where they said, right, we need to get a company in to come and really blow us out of the water with with a pro video. Although their ones were good and they were believable and you got to know the guys really well, I mean, it was just a matter of the footage being a little bit XYZ. So we came in and did a video for them. So I'll let the video explain exactly what they do. You have to see it to believe it.
So the atmosphere is infinitely programmable. That means that you can map literally any sound to any of these pads that are around the sphere. So the program here to create it allows you to drag and drop your own samples onto any of the 48 pads using the interface that you can see here, but it also allows you to hook it up to existing audio production software.
So each pad is pressure sensitive. You can assign any sound to any pad, and you can assign the pressure data to any sort of variable within that sound. Basically, it feels more like you're molding the sound when you press that.
Revolution.
You get the idea. It's a musical instrument, but yeah, quite a complicated product, I guess, and something really new to the market. So they've effectively used this and got it blogs and whatnot, and I think they've got to around 35,000 views on that. So they've used it really effectively, and I guess it depends. How many hits? People always ask me, how do I get 50,000 hits for my video? It's how active you are, and I guess in terms of PR and journalists and that sort of thing, getting into blogs, really getting it out there and taking the stage with it. So yeah, that's what I would recommend doing. But do you have any questions?
You mentioned that the video for us cheap at 500 pounds. Would you suggest to look for a producer to do a video for cost?
I mean, shop around. I think there's a difference between, I guess, you've got 3 or 4 layers. So you've got the premium production houses that do TV, you've got the people with cameras. We're kind of on this end ourselves. We use contractors to do it. So I mean, companies like ourselves do low-cost video, and it's the people that really specialise in an SME market or have options. So we've got different pricing for SME tech companies and then obviously corporates and city. So I mean, it's companies with knowledge of the startup crowd and that sort of thing. So I mean, that video there, we did that for £500 every year.
What?
£500 was.
Are you saying that you could compete with video decline? Your website says on that difficult.
Yeah, well that's our standard business profile. We spend 4 hours with you, we do X, Y, Z. For a startup, we've got smaller packages where they're less involved in terms of hours. We get you guys more involved because it's your product and service and revolves from there.
Was there advice for like software companies or web companies? I mean, for me this is an easy video. It's like, it's a physical object, it's music, it's trendy, it's easy to do. How do you like convey like an email experience?
For a software company, I mean, it is hard. We do a lot of sort of screen flow animation videos, trying to spice it up. But I mean, that's when you really have to be thinking, does it want to be informative? Do you want to be informative and have a bit of fun with it? Because sometimes it's better to just be straightforward. If you're sending it out to people who want the usability and want to be able to use it, there's no particular need to make it all trendy and get out there. So I'd be careful in terms of what you want out of it. I always say to people, know your outcome before you start coming and engaging with video companies, and know what you want to get out of the video first.
What's your opinion on using an animated video versus sort of real life? Or do you do animation?
We have done animation, yeah. I mean, we don't specialise in it. Animation's good, and depending on, again, what outcome you want to, there's a time and place for animation. Personally, I like when I watch videos, I like to get to know the people behind it. But I think some products and services, there is I mean, maybe software, for example, you want to jazz it up and put some animation in there or something. So, I mean, that's up to your discretion. It depends on what you like as well, because I always say, if you're going to like watching it, then make something that you want to watch as well.
So, we have a B2B business, and I want to put a video on our website. I had a video done for something else where the founders are being interviewed as well. Would you still put that on the website, or just a pure product demo, like to showcase what we do?
Well, I mean, I'd always advise to, an ideal website for me is there's a video on each tab. So you've got a business profile video, who we are, blah, blah, blah. It's not a big sell this either. So yeah, it depends on, I guess, what else is on your homepage. But I think the founders is a good start in terms of where the business is coming from, depending on the quality of it again, I guess.
I guess you also reveal that you're like a smaller company, which might some people show less trust. They have less trust and stuff.
Yeah, but I guess it's how you're pitching yourself in your overall website design and that sort of thing.
How about client testimonials? Aren't they quite strong?
Yeah, we're doing a lot of client testimonials. It's the old adage that when people read a client testimonial on a website, they just think the business has written them themselves, and then got the client to approve that they put it up there. So a lot of corporate city clients, and I guess startups now moving towards video case studies. And really what we do is try and jam sort of 3 or 4 different people into one video, so you get a different aspect, or else it can stay on one person talking and that sort of things. Cool. Thanks very much.